Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Millionaire Mentor Justin Brown coming to you live from the South Side. All is good and God is good. Hope you all are having a blessed day. So today, got some assignments that I'm taking care of across the street. Of course, you can see Building 1, talking about the responsibilities of owning 2 entire blocks. So this is what you want to do when you're rebuilding communities. Buy up 1 block at a time. So I own this block right here across the street, and I own this entire block right here, this entire street. So buy 1 block at a time. These are 2 different blocks I own. So I'm on the 2nd floor right now. So what we're doing right now, the 2nd floor is already ready. But now we got to work on the 1st floor now. I had to kick out an old tenant because he messed up that right there. So that's got to be replaced. See, this is what a real millionaire does. He rebuilds his communities. He buys properties and he fixes them up. Don't be listening to these other fake gurus that think that they know what they're talking about, and they don't know what they're talking about. See, I can flash Rolexes and stuff like that all day. There's nothing wrong with flashing Rolexes and nice watches and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, make sure that your life is taken care of. So you won't be living in somebody else's senior care home. Create your own senior care home. So you won't be 80 years old living somewhere else. Make sure that you got your properties taken care of. See what I'm saying? Make sure you got your future secure first. Then you buy the Rolexes and the Breitlings and the Lamborghinis and stuff like that. But a real person that's trying to make 6 or 7 figures and take care of his community comes down to his hood and rebuild all these neighborhoods. Every state, not just Texas. I'm around every state rebuilding these neighborhoods. Got this done in so it took about a whole year. It took about a year just to rebuild all of this. Rebuild all of this. All this needs to be taken care of. See, the thing is, it looks nice, but it's not to where I want it to be. See, my investor, who's an attorney, he did the best he could, you know. That's cool. So that's room number 1. So I'm gonna give you all an example. This room right here can generate in Texas can generate $2,000 a month. Got 2 veterans here contracted. That's $2,000 a month. That's $2,000 a month. So we have $4,000 a month right there. Now, if we was in California, that'd be triple that. That'd be $12,000 a month. So right there. These 2 rooms right here. These 2 rooms right here. That's $120,000 right there. So that's $120,000 easy. So I can easily make this a media room, or I can put some veterans in here. That's 8. So we're looking at right here, we're looking at about $5,000 a month right there. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So bam. All right. I'm considering putting an elevator right here. So that way people in wheelchairs won't have to worry about when Miss Lisa, our cook, comes to cook breakfast for the veterans before they go to the day program, the adult center. I'm going to try to have an elevator put right here so they can automatically come up. That way they're set. All right, let's go down. I'm going to share a little bit of my assignments for today. All right, so here's another tip. How do you become a real estate investor if you want to be a millionaire, whatever, if you have $0? So first, you need to have some sponsors and you need to have some investors. So what I just say, some sponsors and some investors. So my first 2 investors was that person across the street. I'm sorry, 2 sponsors. My first sponsor was my dad across the street. My second sponsor was an NBA player who's sponsoring me, who's helping me out right now, and some other areas, universal life insurance and loans and stuff like that to pay for the properties. He's sponsoring me. My second dad is my sponsor. So I'm helping their businesses grow. They're helping my business grow. That's what's called a sponsor. It's a partnership. It's a 50-50. I help you out, you help me out. That's what a sponsor is. Because if you have an investor that gives you money, they're going to ask, well, where are you getting the money from? Who's sponsoring you? Right? And so my investor is a attorney. So I own about 50% ownership of this building here. And then the rest of this block right here is there. So right here from that house to this building is a whole block. So that's 50% ownership of this entire block on this side, not the one across the street. This block right here. So this whole entire vicinity is mine right here. So 50% ownership of this block, 100% ownership of the block across the street. All right, cool. So what do you need first if you don't have no money at all? Because I didn't have no money at all. I needed sponsors. And those sponsors is the evidence or the reassurance that my investor needs to know that I have money. So attorney Jamison Dyer met my dad. He's known my dad for about 10 years. So since my dad is sponsoring me, what I'm doing, they gave me the privilege to be able to work with his neighbor who is an investor, attorney Jamison Dyer. Attorney Jamison Dyer has a law firm in downtown Houston called Dyer, Libby, and Associates. That's the attorney that owns 50% of this building that he's working with me. So he owns 100% of the building, I own 100% of the business. So let me explain this to you all. And then I'm going to try to explain it in detail. But a person, instead of somebody selling a property, they really get it contracted. Because if you get it government contracted, the responsibility falls onto the government. The government takes care of the building. They take care of the tenants, the veterans, the seniors, and all that. And so you don't have to worry about the upkeep or the maintenance or financial trouble if it's government contracted. So let's say somebody gets an attitude. Somebody wants to leave, right? If it's a veteran. If that veteran has a 2-year contract here, the government has to abide by that contract. So that means even if this person leaves, the government still has to pay because they have to abide by that contract. Once it's written down, that's why I want to have everything written down. If they get kicked out, they're not going to get kicked out. If they have an attitude and they run out on their own, guess what the police officer is going to do? I don't take my mask off for this. Guess what the police officer is going to do? The police officers are going to grab that person and put them right back up in here because he's either in a program or he's under that contract. So they're going to get that person. The police is going to get that person and put them back in here until that contract is finished. So that's the benefit. I wanted you all to read my lips so I can know how powerful a government contract is. So we had a veteran here that tried to leave across the street, but see, the police had to bring him back over there. He's still under a government contract. It's almost like being in jail, almost. It's not as bad as that, but you might as well call it that. But that's how I am. I'm strict. If somebody want to move up in here, they got to be contracted. I'm not just going to put anybody up in here. Veterans and senior citizens only. All right, cool. And if I do have people that came out of prison, out of jail, I'm making them my personal bodyguard, period. That's a different program. So if you know some people that's trying to get out of prison, you know what I'm saying, they need to get reference from an attorney or anybody like that, let me know. All right, so I just wanted to share some information about how I got started. All right. So I just wanted to share that. There's about a couple people that listened, but I'm giving out some valuable information. If you want to buy properties like this and become a real estate investor, and if you have only $0, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you need sponsors, and the sponsors take care of the investor. Sponsors are people that you know, your relatives. My first sponsor was my dad. My second sponsor was an NBA player. And then my investor is an attorney. My investor owns 50% of this building here, and I own 100% of this business. Because I have prior experience and knowledge is valuable. An investor needs that. That saves him time and saves him money. So here are our assignments for today. If anybody wants to help me out today, I'm willing to pay $50. Who needs $50 today? I'm willing to pay $50 to help me move some of this material, all these materials, over here. So that's going to be our assignment today. My personal bodyguard is across the street. So he's managing that building. So since I don't have a second personal bodyguard with me at this building, I'm going to keep everybody on Facebook Live so they can see what I'm doing. Just in case some ignorant idiot tries to jack me, it's already been recorded on Facebook. So that way people can see what I'm doing. Of course, I need a cameraman. It's all good. So I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold the camera on my right hand. And, I'm going to hold the camera on my right hand. And I'm going to use my left hand to move the materials to the left. So, you got to do what you got to do. And, of course, I already pre-recorded this on Instagram. I'm just recording it on YouTube so I get my credits on both platforms. It's always important to have that on both platforms. So I got all the wall materials. Excuse me. I got all the wall materials on this side. Put it on this side right here. Then I'm gonna get the wood. And I guess since this is just a small area, I'm just gonna move it on this side. Now, I don't want this to interfere with the cords right here. This is what my investor did. Attorney Dyer. It's good to see attorney. See, an attorney is just not an attorney. See, this is a real guy right here. He does construction work too. It's pretty cool. So eventually I'm going to introduce you all to my first investor, one of my first investors, Jameson Dyer. All right. He's well known in a lot of areas. A lot of people have known him. All right. So that's the second one. All right. Look at all that stuff. It's a lot of stuff. What do y'all think? So we're going to keep the appliances on the right-hand side and put the materials on the left-hand side. What I think we should do is just put all this wooden stuff over here originally. My investor wants to have all this stuff on this side, but it's not a wise choice. Some people say, do what your investor says do if he's the one with the money. But if I'm the one with the business, then I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what's best for business. Period. So I'm going to put all this wooden stuff on this side right here. Some people's probably thinking it's going to be a long day if I do one at a time. It's not going to be that long. I still have to clean up after I finish this part right here. And if it gets really hot, I'm just going to take a break. Do I miss California weather? I sure do miss California weather. So back in the day, Mr. Robichaux and Mr. Ebo, they used to be like franchise owners, like with Coca-Cola. They had a Coca-Cola machine right there. And because of them, I use them as a reference. And I have my own Coca-Cola business. It's pretty cool, right? So there's a lot of materials in here that needs to be cleaned up. I'm gonna go through that later. But it's nasty. It is what it is. You got to take care of your hood. You got to take care of your hood. People need to see history. If people can see history, that's another thing. To attract sponsors and attract investors, people need to see these type of videos so they can see that you're legit, that you're actually taking care of your hood. People need to see the evidence of what you're doing. I got people watching me all the time. So I got to stay on my A game. You got to always be an honest person. Always be an honest person. Always be an honest person. Do what you say you're going to do. It's kind of weird. See, people talk about racism, things like that, prejudice. The only prejudice I've had to deal with is people in my own culture, especially family members, people that was supposedly close to me. I've never suffered any prejudice from a white person, period. In fact, my investor is a white person. Most of my investors are white people. Los Angeles, Dallas, Florida. They're not black, Jewish, white, whatever you want to call them. That's helped me get these buildings and that's helping me get these blocks. Ain't no black folks got enough money to be able to do something like that. How many black people is willing to invest in giving you a whole block, an entire block? Name one black person. Let alone 2 blocks. Let's think about that. That tells me that that person is not prejudiced. Because it's benefiting them, it's not just benefiting me, it's benefiting them and it benefits the entire community. Let me know how many black people is buying up blocks for other people and creating government contracted businesses and rebuilding neighborhoods. A lot of black folks don't got that kind of money. Most black folks is not going to give up millions, it's not going to give millions of dollars to give you a block, especially and put it in your name. How many black folks is going to do that? Tell me. Right as of right now. Unless they're a billionaire. Who's just going to give up $2 million, $3 million just like that? How many black people is going to do that? How many black people is going to give you several $1 million and barely know you just because they believe in what you're doing? How many black people is doing that right now? 0. Not off the bat. And a lot of black people that got millions of dollars are selfish. I'm black because I can say that. I'm African American, so I can say that. So I'm not ashamed to say that a white person bought this block for me. I'm not ashamed to say that at all. And it's a shame that people in our culture, why can't people in our own culture, in the communities of color, why can't people in our culture, you see what I'm saying? Why can't people in our culture do stuff like this? Buy blocks for other people. They do, it's not too many of us. It needs to be more of us. Because as of right now, I'm the youngest person. I'm the youngest person in America that's building banks and buying up neighborhoods. But I just wanted to show you all this. This is the power of somebody that started from $0 and found NBA players and attorneys that's sponsoring him and that's investing in him. That's the power of faith and works. Because I started off doing this with $0. Now I own 2 blocks. So nobody can't tell me nothing. Nobody can't tell me that it can't be done. Because I had $0 when I started this. Now I got sponsors and investors that's making it happen. I'm a living witness that it's doable, that it's real. Yeah, so this first floor is about to be finished. I need to breathe a little bit. This first floor right here is going to be finished in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. This first floor is going to be finished. So I'm really excited about that. Once this is finished, then we can work on getting the permits for this. We already got the plumbing permit. most of the permits has been taken care of, so we should be good. The second floor is good to go. Now we're just working on the first floor right here. We good. Like I was saying before, I'm a living witness. I started with $0, but I just kept on sticking with it. I found an NBA player, I found an attorney, my dad. All those three people sponsored me and invested in me. My dad was my sponsor, NBA player was my sponsor, and then my investor is an attorney. So he had some assignments for me to do. And so if he got assignments for me to do and he's paying for it, I'm gonna do the assignments. So I'm moving all the wooden material on this side and then the appliances on the other side. So that's simple. And he's paying for it and there's no money coming out of my pocket. That's what you call legit. So this is coming straight from somebody who had $0 when they started. Now I own this entire block right here. 50% ownership of this entire block on this side. 50% ownership of this side right here. And then across the street, 100% ownership. So I own this entire vicinity, both these blocks right here. It depends on the person. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how much you care. Trust me. So take care of this. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to, nobody cares about how rich you are. Because you don't want to be 80 years old living in somebody's care home. Create your own care homes, right? Create your own place to stay at. And then once you got that taken care of, then you can focus on getting your Rolex watches and your Breitling watches and your Bugattis and your Lamborghinis. But make sure that you're rebuilding neighborhoods and have your own senior homes. Look at this entire block. 2 blocks. 2 blocks. Not 1 block, but 2 blocks. Starting with somebody that had $0. $0. But I found sponsors and I found an investor that believed in me, and that's all I needed. As long as you're taking care of your community will take care of you. As long as you're taking care of your community will take care of you. Period. And let me tell you something. My 2 sponsors are African American, but my investor is not African American. So why is it that people in the communities of color aren't supporting one another? How many people of color is going to give you 2 entire blocks just because they believe in you and they barely know you? I don't know too many African Americans or people of color that's going to do that. Why is that? That's a problem. I'm not going to be like that. If I see another brother struggling and he needs a block, and if he needs a building, I'm going to help him get that building. Just because taking care of veterans and taking care of seniors, that puts more money in people's pocket. That increases people's benefits, that makes the community better, that ends homelessness, that increases the job. All this, what I'm doing right here, it increases the job market. It increases the job market. There's less homeless people. And then all that money that comes towards taking care of veterans and seniors, guess what? All that money that goes towards people that actually need jobs in downtown. Without this, there are no jobs. There are no jobs. Because what you're getting paid now is from taxpayers' money. If you're a nurse or if you're a doctor, where do you think all that money's coming from? It's coming from these type of businesses. Without these type of businesses, there are no jobs. There is no downtown. I'm telling you. All right, everybody, I just wanted to give you all an example of somebody who came from $0 and now is buying up blocks and rebuilding neighborhoods across the country. All right, everybody, this is your boy, millionaire mentor Justin Brown, coming to you live from the South Side. All is good and God is good. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.